There's one thing I've promised you, I've never been perfect. Good evening, Facebook world. Yay! It's Shake Talk time. It's Shake Talk time. I know, I haven't done a Shake Talk. I have this one friend that always sends me messages, and she's like, where is Shake Talk? Like, I just haven't forgotten. So, tonight's topic is, if you fail to plan to... You're supposed to put that word in.
Fail.
There you go. Good job, Dwayne.
You're talking to me again.
No, there's nobody on yet. I'm talking to myself right now. But someone will come on, and people watch this in the replay, right? Yeah. So I need some audience participation here. So Dwayne's my only audience right now. All right. So I used to have in my classroom across the chalkboard. Yes, I had a chalkboard. And it said in a big, long, banner-y thing, right? And it says, if you plan to fail, or if you fail to plan to fail. And the kids would go, Ms. Hemmings, I don't get that. I don't understand. And I was like, well, you have to plan to be successful. So, planning your homework assignments or your sports or, whatever, right? And this doesn't change when we get older. And it's funny because I said to Dwayne, I said, because we're planning. Anyways, we'll talk about that in a second. But I'm like, when I was a teacher, before September 15th, right, that was kind of our deadline, or September 30th, whatever it was, but in September, we had to provide the year plan to our principal. So they kind of knew, like what we were doing for the year. And I said to Dwayne, it's because if I got hit by a bus, some teacher could come in and already knew where I was at and, what was going on. Not that I was ever going to get hit by a bus, but... That tends to be my standard. But what if you get hit by a bus? That tends to be a standard. I don't know anybody that's ever been hit by a bus, just so you know. Maybe because your brother drove bus for so long, I just assumed. Sorry, that was funny. Anyway, okay. So if you fail to plan to fail. Sometimes this happens, right? You get up, you have this wild idea, maybe it's a dream or something like that, but you don't do anything that takes you towards that, and you fail, right? Well, did you really fail? Because you didn't really get started, right? Anyway, so Dwayne and I are tonight sitting down, and I'm like, okay, we have our 30th wedding anniversary coming up in 11 days. 30 years. Now, first of all, pat on the back. I have not smothered him in his sleep. Yeah. Pat on the back. So our anniversary is coming up. And I'm like, because he says, well, we could do this and that. And so we're going to do a trip. We're actually going to do a trip kind of as our 30th anniversary. We're going to kind of couple it with something else. And in September, we're going to go and take a trip. So you'll hear all about that after. But like on our anniversary, like it's a big deal, right? Personally, my more favorite anniversary is when, honey? When's my more favorite anniversary? What is more important to me than the wedding day?
When I asked you. When I proposed to you.
When you proposed, when I agreed to marry you, right? So that day we became engaged, right? So that's a more important anniversary to me. But anyway, the wedding stuff is still kind of cool because it was the legalities and formalities. And if you know me, you know that we weren't really going to get married. And then my mother stepped in. Whole other story. That's a whole other Shake Talk. Anyhow, but it's our 30th wedding anniversary. So I said to him, so we're sitting here planning, and I said, oh yeah, and by the way, you're going to plan a little ceremony for us to renew our vows. He's like that was his face. Was that pretty good? Was that, look at me.
Perfect.
Yeah. So he's going to plan a little ceremony, right? So, and that's on Tuesday, June 18th. And I'm hoping that there might be invited, like some friends involved at some point, at least on the beach or something.
And now you're going to do this and show people what I've done? Oh, my Lord.
No, our ceremony can be private. You can create something private. Anyhow, so we have 11 days to plan the next 30 years of our lives. Right? Like, isn't that crazy? But here's the thing. If we fail to plan, we might as well plan to fail. Right? This is the way life goes. So we're sitting here. Here's my little list. I'm not going to show it to you, but, kind of there's some words on my paper. And Where's your paper?
Right here.
He's got, come here. I'm showing that he's written down things too. I'm just showing you that we both did things. So I kind of cover it so you don't get to see what we're writing, right? But he has like that much. We have about, and they're just things that we want to get done. So we're going to start planning. So we now have business meetings every Sunday. We're going to start business meetings every Sunday about planning to move forward, right? So that we don't fail. Because here's the thing. We have children, but we don't really have children. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're grown and they're doing their thing, so we don't have children to worry about. We don't have, any sort of elder care. Both of our parents, all of our parents, they're long gone, right? Even our grandparents, right? Like, we're the top of our familial chain, I guess. We're it, right? Like, we have no parents and grandparents, so like our kids have us and our grandkids like this we kind of end, right? So we got to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. We got to make sure that we're here for a long time for our family and all that kind of stuff. It's going to be at least 30 years, and if you know me, I've been saying I'm going to live till I'm 123 years old, and I'm 55 this year. So I said to him, we're going to have another good, like really good 30 years, at least 30 years. What the hell are we doing? Are we wasting our time? Are we just flip-flopping around, all that kind of stuff, right? No, I want to plan to succeed. So remember, if you fail to plan to fail. So we're planning. So we sat here. We've been sitting here for the last couple hours. It's got dark, like I have to turn the lights on, right? So we're talking about what's important to us. So we're like, okay, what are you responsible for? And it doesn't mean you're going to do it all by yourself 100% of the time. It's just, what are you responsible for making happen, right? And what am I responsible for? So for me, content, right? Like for my Isagenix business, right? My content. Shake Talks, guess what? Are part of my content. So I'm back doing regular Shake Talks because that's part of my plan to succeed and let people know how amazing Isagenix is, right? Have my shake, go like this and go, oh, it's so good. You should all have shakes. I don't think my content's going to look like that. I might have to go on a different app. Anyhow, okay, so I'm obviously in charge of content because my husband, not quite the content creator. Sorry, he's just you can't see it. I should turn my camera around. He wouldn't even know it. I got the look. Okay, anyway, so we're planning to set up for success. So our anniversary is a really good time for us to do that, right? But you can do it just because it's Friday. You can do it, for Monday. I highly suggest, we so often, okay, oh my God. So a friend of mine was telling me that her child is getting married. And base price for their wedding is going to be about $70,000. That's like base price for the venue and the initial food and whatever. I was like, holy Jesus. That's insane. Please don't spend that on a wedding. Please don't. But here's my point was this. People spend more time planning their wedding or a vacation, right, babe? How much time have we spent looking at this trip that we're going to make? We don't spend that much time on our lives. We're going to spend equal amount of time planning our life. Who's here? Say hello. Don't just come and stare at me. Say hi. Say hi. It's okay to say hi. Anyway, so starting today, because we started our list today, and the next couple of days. And then Sunday, we're going to sit down. So we're going to add our things over the next couple of days to what we're responsible for. Then on Sundays, we're going to sit down and look at our week and say, okay, what are we doing this week? How are we moving ourselves forward? What's our plan to succeed? Now, we've been doing this, I do planning all the time. I've been planning my teaching. We always had meal plans done because, oh my gosh, with two girls that were so into their cadet world, 4 nights a week, and then they added volleyball and stuff that they were playing. We always had we had on our wall, we had put a, hi Bonnie, yay, thanks, somebody said hi to me. We put a perpetual calendar you know, like, so just a blank thing, and then we had a glass in front of it, or plexiglass or whatever it was, and then we wrote. So every week we, you know, we knew where everybody had to be and who had the car going where and all that kind of stuff. And then, you know, as the kids got older and it just became him and I, we stopped doing that. I was like, no, we need to do that again, right? Because that's how we were successful. This is how we've, you know, grown, you know, that's how we're growing the Isagenix business. That's how we're growing as a couple, right? What are we doing? What are we looking forward to, and all that kind of stuff. So if you fail to plan to fail, right? It's that simple. Now I get it. So many people in my world, like, seriously, I'm looking at the people that came on here, and like 4 out of the people that jumped in here, you didn't say hi to me, just so you know. I don't even know if you're still here. I know you're retired. And I know that your day is already planned. You get up, you know, whatever it is, you have your coffee, you scroll your Facebook, you read your newspaper, you go for lunch with this friend, or you go to that activity. Like, I get it. Like, and I get that world. I'm not retired. I don't want to live that way anyways. I can't do the same thing every week. That's not a Barbie Lee thing to do. I don't think that's a Dwayne thing. I don't really know. That might be a Dwayne thing to do, but it's not a Barbie Lee thing to do. So if Dwayne wants to be with Barbie Lee, he's going to have to figure out different things to do. But life, to me, is meant to be lived. And I want to live. I want to feel like when I put my head on the pillow at night, that, dang, that was a good day. Like, I loved this, and I loved that, and I did this. Like, okay, so today, if you haven't seen on my Facebook wall yet, we're playing pickleball. All of a sudden, you know, and these guys come in, and they're telling me, can you guys move your cars over here? Because there's 300 motorcycles. I don't think they brought in 300 motorcycles. I don't think that's how many showed up. But if you look at my Facebook, all this, you know, came in, and I would, like, on the topic of planning, somebody went ahead of the motorcycles and planned to clear the parking lot. They planned to take a picture in the big park with the ocean in behind them. Somebody had to plan that to make that happen. You don't, you know, gather 300 motorcycles. Oh, and I'm not telling you. You have to watch it and figure out why they were riding. It took me 2 minutes of a video to figure out what they were all doing. Anyway, but somebody had to plan that to make it a success, right? But then here's what was funny. Nobody planned to take the sign with them after the picture, because everybody drove away and the sign sat in the park. It was gone an hour later. Somebody realized they had left it behind. But, you know, sometimes we don't plan all the little details. But the point is this. If you fail to plan to fail. So what are you doing? How are you planning to succeed? And I know so many people spend so much time in their workday, and they're just like go in their workday. They just want to decompress when they're home. But I will tell you, as a mom of 2 very young girls, not very young, very active girls when they were younger, if I didn't plan meals, and I didn't go grocery shopping on the Sunday, or send husband grocery shopping on the Sunday, so we had everything we needed, and we looked at where the girls needed to be and what they needed to be, we would have had a really different experience. Because we're pretty healthy people, and we like to be pretty healthy people. But being so busy all the time, if we didn't make those menu plans, we would have eaten like whatever. Like, seriously, we wouldn't have been able to do what we did. And today, right, like now, like, I don't mean today, like only today, but like Dwayne in my life, we go play pickleball every morning. Now, I like lunch, 1:30, 2 o'clock, you're getting cranky Barbie Lee, right? And I say, Dwayne makes my lunch, right? So he has to plan beforehand. We can't come home and say, hey, what are we having for lunch today? We have to make sure we have food in the fridge. We have to make sure that we have everything we need, right? Like planning bananas alone is a feat, right? Making sure we have bananas, because we eat 4 to 5 bananas a day in this house, because they go in our shakes. Isagenix, Isoline shake. You have to watch the beginning. If you just came in now, you have to watch the beginning to see why I did that. But all these little things, certainty releases uncertainty. And it's the uncertainty that causes people stress. So when we plan and we set up for success, we can just do it, right? I was telling Dwayne, so we do music poker. And if you don't know what that is, you can go on my page and go to my we made a Facebook page about it and everything. And it's just something we do here. It's a hoot and a half. And so we had 2 locations this last year, which means 6 categories a week. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Doesn't matter. Out of, what do we use? 82? How many categories do we use? 62? How many?
68 of 92.
68 of 92. So we use 68. The reason why is some of them are like 2000s, and our crowd here doesn't know that kind of stuff. Anyways, so 68 categories. So what we did when we first started is we set up an Excel sheet, and we said, okay, what 3 categories go together? And we listed them all, and it took us a couple hours, right? And then after we ran that category and we did the 3 together, we're like, oh, those 3 didn't go together, so then we kind of moved things around a little bit. And now after 2 years, you still moved them around this year, didn't you? You still picked a couple, because we're like, yeah, that still doesn't seem to work exactly. So we had a plan. Sorry?
Can't do the same 3 every season.
Oh, well, you can, but,
No.
right? Bonnie likes it. Bonnie goes, it's fun. It is fun. We love it. But we have it all set up so that on Tuesdays in the morning, he pulls up the list, he sees the 3 categories, he sends them to the printer. It's just what he does on Tuesday mornings because we planned that. We don't wait till Thursday morning, like we do the Thursdays now in the summer, and we do them over at La Catarina. He doesn't wait till Thursday morning to send them to the printer and then go and pick them up and rush around. We've planned to get it done in advance. So why wouldn't we plan how we clean the apartment? And not just waiting till someone takes a look at it or company's coming, because that's when most people clean. I have a friend that says, I only invite people over because it makes me clean my apartment. Dwayne's like, that's a good idea. I see the little smirk on his face because no one ever visits us. We never have to clean. That's not true. We do have friends come and visit us.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the point. Everything, and I'm not saying schedule it, that it's like every minute of every day is scheduled. I'm saying plan to succeed, right? So this list that I have about the things that I want, because I know they work, I know they move forward, I know they make me feel good, I know that, the continuous momentum in my Isagenix business is really important to me. So making sure that I have it set up to do it properly. It's kind of like this. I love my mornings. Dwayne sleeps in. He doesn't sleep in. He gets up at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. It's not sleeping in. But I get up at 5. I wake up when my body wants to wake up, and it's usually about 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, I do some reading. Sometimes I go outside and watch the sunrise. But I've been doing yoga, Lottie's, stretching, fitness, movement-y kind of thing that I incorporate a whole bunch of things every morning. Well, July 1st will be 3 years. Every morning, almost every morning. Because, I'm not going to say when I was in Canada I didn't do it because I had the baby on me and, whatever. But pretty much every single day. Now it's just a habit. It's what I do. I don't feel right if I don't do it in the morning, right? Because I planned, I set it up. I even have, look, you're like, really, Beverly? That's crazy. This is what I do. So this is look, I open my phone, it's right there. It's called Pilates for Dummies. And this is, the lady that does it, there's a video on YouTube. And I started doing the Pilates for Dummies, forever ago. And now I still incorporate those moves in everything that I'm doing. So if you fail to plan to fail. And I'm not saying you have to schedule boom, 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 boom. But have an idea what you want. And then your brain will be looking for, and the universe will provide you with the things that make it work. And then it'll be easy. And if it's not easy, it's probably not supposed to be. But that's a whole other conversation. All right, mi amigos, mis amigos. You have to go back and hear about my Isagenix. Because it was funny. Anyways, all right. I appreciate those of you that said hello. That's one of you. One of you. I appreciate Bonnie. Bonnie's the only person on here I appreciate. Nobody else said hello. Not one person said hello to me except Bonnie. I'll give him 5 more seconds to say hello to me. Says there's 4 people watching. Let's see. Oh, Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Are you still in Drayton? Or have you moved? Are you still in Drayton? Holy, there's a name from the past, hey? One of our karaoke buddies. Let's see. He moved to Drayton. Oh, you're back in Edmonton now. All right. Yeah, we're not going there anytime soon. That is not a place where we'll be hanging out. So, just saying. All right. So who else is on here? And Barb, hi, darling. You know I talk about you a lot. Just so you know, I talk about you a lot, Miss Barbara McKay. Because, you know, people always say, you know, when you move away, you lose your friends. I'm like, nope, I keep 2 really good friends. And you are one of them, my love. Just so you know. Because we make time for each other, don't we? All right. See, we plan to stay friends. Hola, Eleanor. Are you actually here? Are you going to say hello to me? Who else? No, I don't know. Okay, anyways, I'm done. I'm done babbling. All right. So, topic of conversation today. If you plan, or if you fail to plan to fail. Ooh. Think of it this way. So a couple of you that watch this, you come to Mazatlan. What happens if you didn't plan a plane trip? You'd fail to get here, wouldn't you? Just saying. Have a great night.